The timing of the end of that song and the start of my introduction could not have been planned better. I am so proud of Circumstance, and perhaps this is a good sign of what's to come with Manor Lords. Now, a side note, we were going to be playing Fallout Hardcore Iron Man mode, but on the 18th, Bethesda updated Skyrim and Fallout 4 to make it better. And what I mean by that is I play on console as well as PC. I try modding on all different platforms because I just enjoy doing it. And I gotta say, like, modding the Xbox is frustrating because you have to piecemeal the mods. There's no big mod. It's like if you want to achieve the same thing as a game mechanic overhaul that you would get on Nexus for the PC, you have to download the pieces of the game or download the pieces of the mod to make that mod complete. So what did they update? Well, now they've increased the BA2 limit from 256 up to 1024, which means for people like me who install 900 goddamn mods in their games, it will make the game more stable in the long run. It also means that people on Xbox will be able to download smaller overhaul mods like faction overhauls, where it adds quests, characters, skins, weapons, etc. all in one mod. That's huge. But Xbox has a problem where once you got over 124 BA2s, it would crash desktop every time you turned it on. It was actually more like 156. They've now increased that limit. So now you should be able to mod your Xbox to the same gusto that you would your PC with no issues. More importantly, they finally got PlayStation to play ball and accept different file formats, which was the biggest hitch on PlayStation modding. So now people on PlayStation who have been neglected for I don't know how long will be able to mod Skyrim and Fallout 4 just like their Xbox counterparts, and everything's going to be more stable. So why are we not enjoying this update in Fallout 4? Well, sadly, whenever you change a game's core files like they did with this update, unfortunately that does mean that all of the script extenders and stuff will have to be updated. So I could try to play it, but the problem would be it could corrupt my save. So now we have to wait. We have to wait until my script extenders at least update. Everything else I think should be okay, but anything that requires any kind of script extension will rely on those to be current. So for now, that playthrough is on the back burner. But it's a good thing. We'll be able to perform better and we'll be able to mod more. So I'm super excited. But I'm not too brokenhearted about it. I put up 2 games for vote in the Discord, and it was Manor Lords or Hell or Lose Vietnam. We're going to be doing Hell or Lose Vietnam on Saturday anyway, and by an overwhelming landslide, Manor Lords won the vote. So that is what we are going to be doing today. We currently have a firewood problem, although that has been somewhat resolved with the fact that we are, we're actually changing the operations area of the fire cutters, because I noticed the firewood cutters were just going to what they thought was the nearest tree when it wasn't. I had set these firewood camps right next to Forest Edge, and they were going across the street to chop some other goddamn trees. So now we have them honed in. We're starting to get firewood. We're making the charcoal we need for our industrial, and we're getting ready to replant a logging area that we're going to expand to once our farming houses are up and running. So, without further ado, Manor Lords, everyone. We also survived 2 back-to-back assaults that were quite large. And I'm pretty pleased with our progress. Pretty soon, we're going to be able to march on the enemy, and even if they spend every little dime and every little drop of their resources into stopping me, they won't be able to. However, once you start traveling long distances with your army, they do get fatigued, and that does affect it. One of the things with this beta branch update that I like is that the towns look a lot more natural in the AI developed areas. They don't look like, oh, I'm putting this building here because my people need it. We're starting to see a more realistic approach. And this is the first time I've seen them use corpse pits, which is good. Oh my god, we just had taxes taken out again. We're going to be taxed forever. This is an interesting area. Might be worth looking into. But right now, we've got Andrew Dornley on our map, which has a rich resource of mushrooms and a rich resource of stone. It also has fish, That's going to be a little harder to get to, so we're going to have to build a fishing community down here. And up here, we're going to have to work on our industrial area. But that quarry is going to be huge, and this is where we're going to build our mega castle. Right up on this cliff's edge. The city itself will be relatively small for our main castle. This will be our big urban area. We have a new family who moved in. And it looks like they're starting to populate these homes. So now we're going to get honey. Thank God. We should probably turn that... Okay, so you can only have 5 apiaries helping fertilization. So we've got the 5 apiaries here. That does not mean you can only have 5 apiaries. And I don't intend to. We are going to have a lot of apiaries because we need honey for mead. So while the farms will only benefit from up to a 10% increase in fertility from 5 beehives, that does not mean that we won't be making wax and we won't be making honey. Now, wax, I think it's just a trade commodity, which is fine. We'll get rid of all of our wax. Our troops are returning home from the last battle. That's why there's a huge crowd of people here. We just had an insane fight over here. Corpses disappeared on load. That's good. Not enough construction materials. Well, get it. Get the construction materials. That's why I hired you people. And speaking of hiring people, we are going to put a construction yard up near the city. It would make sense that they'd have one. I could probably even put it over here. Oh, there's the bodies. Oh, yeah. We did fight relatively close to our home. Yeah, it's fine. I forgot about that. So, these buildings need to fill out, and then we're going to fill out these buildings and get the other lumber industry going. Then we'll start focusing on just building in this region right here. Everything else, I kind of like being small little boroughs. Our iron is still going strong. We have a lot of little micro farms. That might carry us for a bit. Food is going to be our biggest problem here in a little bit. So that's why we need the farming village to get its shit in order. We could have a family working on malt. Maybe that's what we'll do. You, sir. I'd like you to start making malt. I know we're struggling with firewood, but we need it. So we got leather being made at the tannery. And that's more about building up surplus than anything else. As you can see, we've got 11. We've got 6 linen. Everything's going according to plan. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. And a bunch more people moving in here. This is going to be good. Good for the community. Good for our mouths. Now, the biggest thing that you could do to fuck up your hunger and to fuck up your progress is upgrade all your homes to rank 2 before you're ready. So we're not going to be doing that. Instead, we're going to be gathering resources. One thing I do want to do with the granary is make sure the malt is not stored here. I want all of the malt, and actually, you know what? Honey can stay. Should it stay? You know what? Maybe not honey either. I really want all of the produced malt to go here. Which means these folks need to have their settings fixed so that they are not accepting honey nor malt. In the latest update that they released this weekend, they've changed it to where certain people will like malt, ale, certain people will like mead, and certain people will like cider. So there's preferences now. And it's random. Okay, we're almost there. We're about a quarter of the way with our logs. I'd say 2/3 of the way with our planks, and we're halfway with our stones. So it's going to take some time. All right, our fuel supply's jumping up. Royal taxes have been increased. That was something I could see coming. We've got our forest growing again. That's good. We've already moved them over here, and we moved these folks right over here. So trees are growing in the areas that they need to. As soon as we see a good thick patch of trees over here, we'll rotate this way. It is now May 4th. The last of the fishing is being done for the year. Once we can get enough regional wealth in our pocket, I'm thinking about, it'll probably occur once we see our firewood jump up. So see how it's 366 firewood? I told the trade to only make sure we had 100 firewood, so we're not importing that anymore. As for charcoal, these folks will be able to go get the firewood they need to make more. We could probably get a couple more people on here, but we just got out of the woods with needing charcoal, so probably not the best idea. Do we have anybody unemployed in the fishing village? I don't think we do. Minor, unassigned, warehouse worker. We have one unassigned. We have two unassigned families. Okay, it's time. We need to build another forester's hut right over here. And I'm going to make this the highest priority. Our foresters need to be hard at work at all times. So if we overlap the growing areas, like so, and then this third forester's hut, we can have control of this area. And then these folks are also doing the same thing. It's hard to tell because they haven't been doing it for very long, but this will be a thriving forest in no time. We still have 492 timber. So I'm not too worried about our lumber industries right now. The reason why I pulled everybody off of our lumber industry is because we really need these trees to just grow. Yeah, and then they're bringing logs over here too. Perhaps we do need another logging camp right here. Just to store the wood, because logs do deteriorate over time. Now, you have storage full. Oh, okay, so you're talking about these. Got it. I wish I could just say, hey, don't show me alerts about this being full. Not enough construction material. Well, yeah, that's because the logs are kind of all scattered throughout. That makes sense. All right, so we got this going for us. Our church is over here. Now, to upgrade this church, we need 20 non-rough stone, 10 mortar, and 10 clay. We do have a clay pit that we could go grab real fast. But let's get some bodies in this area first. We could just get it ready and say, hey, build me a clay mine there, and then we'll connect it to the road with the straight road, because this is all temporary. Unfortunately, there's not really a place with rich clay resources nearby. This is interesting. It's a farming area. Now, this looks fascinating. We've got stone deposits. We've got fish. And I kind of like this area. But this is my next conquest, is Tassenbrook. All right, chat. Crasher, hello. I'm going to put up a Twitch poll. This is, we do this on Twitch because Twitch is my political advisors. I always look at you as my chancellors. Jesus Christ! There we go. I'm going to allow additional votes, which means you, my chancellors, can use your bullshit politics to influence this poll. There are 3 choices. Now, we have an ad getting ready to start in 5 minutes. I'm going to keep it at the casual 2 speed while we're waiting. Interesting. We have 2 people who moved in here, so people are really happy right now. Probably because there's no taxes. We're going to put you on the other mall house. As for this dude, let's have him work in the granary. We need more people in the granary. Once we can fill out these 2, we'll worry about having all these other settlers build another farmhouse and get more farm plots down this little valley here. All right, we're going to pan over, check our building, which is obviously being neglected because this. You know what? Bad move. Let's make this the very high priority. And we're going to make this, where is it? This a very high priority. And then we're going to make our outpost be of the highest priority, which, as you can see, they're already working hard on it. Then we're going to be able to have a bigger retinue. We should also be planning ahead and get a farmhouse built right here. And we'll make that a high priority. Our trees are coming in. The apple trees are nigh full grown. We're waiting for the pear trees right now. The apples are going to be critical for our production of cider. Our armies are getting fielded. Soon our levies will be at maximum strength. And as soon as this outpost is built, we're going to turn taxes back on. Huzzah! 3-stream streak. Enjoy the channel points. You achieved the scare. That's right, you did. Raven Rolls, what is up, my dude? A Chancellor for Ferial? How fortuitous. That's right. Are any of you using political shenanigans? No, it seems like the votes are pretty honest. We've got 1, 2, and 3. So, to be clear, I want this area because of the unlimited clay supply. It appears that chat is saying, hey, brother, chill until we have the gold to do it. Okay. But if that is selected, that means we are going to settle this area before we settle Andor Dornley, which strategically I think is going to be more fun. Right? Not the smartest thing, but more fun. Yes! More honey! It's good to be strategic. For once, chat is saying don't rush in. I think that's smart. Because again, in order to hold this, there's a good chance it'll get attacked. And then we're going to have to move our entire army from here to here. Because I do not feel like breaking it up. Realistically, what you should do is you should have 2 or 3 armies in each region. That way, when you summon them, they're coming from all over the place. But I kind of like the idea of slow marching. Now, I will say that once we get this area built up, we will get rid of one of our militia footman groups to instead have more retinue. Because you can have a retinue from every region that you conquer, and they're just better than everything. We will not, however, be getting rid of any of our archers. We need those guys. Honey, time for meat. Almost. Almost. We need this area to populate. Once this area populates, then we start fleshing this area out and get to work on textiles production and meat production. We have a large tavern waiting, or a small tavern. We should upgrade this to a large one. Large taverns can handle a pretty decent sized population. But I want a large tavern here, and I'm thinking about putting a large tavern over here. These guys are close enough to this one that it'll cover. Let's make this the very high priority. This is almost done. At least it'll help public order. We've got an ad break running on Twitch for 1 more minute, so we're not going to do anything crazy. I'll actually slow down the time. Those of you who sub, thank you. Thank you very much. I will be taking off. Actually, you know what? I'll announce this afterwards. I'll announce this afterwards. Well, yeah, it's winter. Stop alerting. I wish you could turn notifications off for the buildings, but if I do and it gets burned down, I'll never know. Right now I have them working year-round for the herbs. Okay. We're starting to get comfortable. I like to have a year's supply of food and a year's supply of firewood. Welcome back, Twitch. Okay, so one thing I was going to talk about now that you all are here. September, all right? I'm going to be reserving probably the 3rd weekend off from work. I don't take vacations, but I'm taking vacations for you guys. In the third week of September, we are going to be doing a sub-marathon. And the point of this marathon is that we are going to try to rack up as much money as we can so that I can get a Shure M7B mic and a Go XLR. And I know Go XLRs are not supported anymore, but I need it. Because I've been asked by some of the buddies that I used to roleplay with on Purple RP as well as Wild RP to join the GTA RP server, Chase RP, which is owned by Penta. You'll notice streamers like Spaceboy and a bunch of the others go there. And it's got everything I love about Purple RP, plus the people that I'm familiar with role-playing with already. However, if I am going to do GTA RP, because there's so many people online in the area at one time, my microphone was great for Wild RP. My Wild RP was widely successful. The server underwent some changes, and there was some drama that I didn't want to be part of, which is partially why I stopped playing it. It's a little too serious, but my time at Purple RP was great until the server owners kind of went crazy. I'd like to get back into it. And my goal is to become familiar enough with their driving, because they installed mods that changes the way the cars handle. I want to get familiar with their driving, and I want to get familiar with the map. So I might start off driving a taxi, because I want to be a cop. I want to do some cop RP. I was an outlaw in Wild RP. I think I want to go the straight and narrow path. But joining a server like Chase RP, it could become my full-time job, right? If I get big enough on it, and I'm not saying I want to buy a Lamborghini. I know a lot of people are concerned about that. No, not undercover. You don't want to do undercover cops in RP. No. That's... If you've ever played in an RP server like that, the organization of the cops and the limits are what's fun. If you want to be an undercover cop, they have a system for that. You can sign up for a particular case they're doing and then go there. Oh, it looks like, yep, the poll is over, so the chancellors have voted. When we have the gold, we will expand. Thank you, chancellors. But like, with cop roleplay, you start off as a beat cop, and while you're a cop, you could become an investigator, you could become a detective, which is different than investigator. Investigators like fraud, drugs. Investigators work closely with detectives and drug enforcement agencies, so they're kind of in the mix of it. They also work with IA. In fact, some police stations, that is IA. But having the limitations of a cop and your limited powers, I think is what's going to be fun, because I think I'm just going to have fun I'm probably going to bring Gabriel in, because coming up with a new character and trying to get people to attach to that and building a new audience at the same time is difficult. Whereas I already know people enjoy Gabriel's character. They have fun with Gabriel. They know his little personality quirks, his giggles, his laughs. I'm going to bring Gabriel in. But my dream is to make a cop whose dad was a cop, who saw some shit, horrible homicides and stuff, and never wanted him to be a police officer. But Gabriel's always wanted to be a cop. So he's going to apply later in life, around 40 years old. I'm probably just going to make him the same age as me and say he was born in 86. And then have it be kind of like The Rookie. I think it's fun to be an older, middle-aged guy going in to start from the bottom as police force. But I want to be an FTO. I want to be a field training officer. Every role-playing server I have joined, they are few and far between. And then if you're a cadet new to the police force, you basically can't role-play a cop unless there's an FTO present to move you up to officer. So you could still be a cop, you could still go solo cadetting, but you're going to be a cadet for months because there's no one there to help analyze you. So I want to be an FTO. But I want to steal ideas from The Rookie, I want to steal ideas from Major Payne, and I want to steal ideas from, like, Full Metal Jacket. So I want this guy to be a comedic, drill sergeant-esque type guy who trains and the cadets, but roasts them the entire time he's doing it. Calling them boot until they become an officer. Telling them they aren't worth anything until they become an officer. I think that'd be really funny roleplay. I also am a procedure guy, procedure and reports guy. So if I do become a cop on a GTA RP server, I want to be the guy writing detailed reports, you know, daring the criminals to find something wrong with the arrest and suing me. They all are 5M. Every modded server's 5M. Yeah, 5M and RedM are the ones that support TeamSpeak, proxy chat, and stuff like that. If you guys are curious about Chase RP, you can watch Penta or you can watch Spaceboy. They have a really good grasp of it. Penta is the owner, and he's designing the server to be that balance between realistic and goofy-ass fun. And while I love Purple RP, it got too far into the goofy-ass fun, where like people had leaf blowers that could blow SUVs into the air. And that's when it kind of became GTA Online and it got kind of stupid. But GTA servers make a fuckload of money. And sometimes the owners of those servers will chase the funds down from investors and change their server to be more appealing to those investors. And then all of a sudden, it's not what it was. What I love about Penta is I'm just going to be blunt. He's already a filthy fucking rich streamer. He's already got an identity out there. Some people can't stand him. Some people love him to death. He's not trying to prove anything. And he has been doing GTA roleplay since like 2015. So yeah, like this is the guy, you know, that you want to follow. But he allows you to have just the proper amount of lewdness. Everything that's in his server as far as lewdness goes won't break TOS. So he's smart about it. Now, I also believe in supporting servers. So I will warn you guys, once I get my Shure M7B mic and once I get my Go XLR, I will be paying to be on the whitelist. But the reason why I'm paying is because it helps keep the server alive and helps pay the developers of the server. Penta's not getting that money. It's going to everybody who's doing the coding and everything. And these servers are so great because if your character's really cool, well-known, and they like you, you can have shit like homes and buildings made for them. Yeah. And I really also want to get into it now because I know a lot of people are like, Jarl, joining a GTA 5 server when GTA 6 is around the corner? I got sour news for you, Jack. One, Rockstar owns 5M now, so we don't know what the role-playing scene for GTA 6 is even going to look like. Two, GTA 6 isn't going to come out on the PC for another 1.5 to 2 years. So there will be no RP on GTA 6. So while everybody is playing GTA 6 on console, they're going to gravitate to GTA RP even more. So from a career standpoint, I think it's a good call. Also, I know a lot of people are like, that's big to stake your streaming career on one game. True. But you guys have to realize, I mean, I'm not working minimum wage in Washington State, but I'm not working that much higher than minimum wage in Washington State. If my YouTube and my Twitch channel brought me 4K a month, I could quit my job. I'd be more available for my family. I would be able to stream with you guys full-time, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's the goal. But I also want to do it in a way that I'm not just asking for subscribers. I don't want a Patreon. I don't want any of that shit. I want it to be tangible income that I can track. Then we get the merch store. Then we get the Patreon, and all of that is extra. If I can survive on the casual subscription that I never asked for, then I think I can make it full-time. Because once I go full-time, then I'm going to start doing subathons and things to bring in money. 8 hours a day with Jarl? Jesus. That's right, Lieutenant General Zombie. And the interesting thing about streaming on the West Coast is I could do one of two things. I could stream early morning to late afternoon so that it's late evening for my UK viewers, and I'll be there with a lot of the clout people, or I could stream afternoon to evening, which is where it'll be morning for the UK, and I'll still be there with all of the clout. And anybody who says they're not a clout chaser when you're trying to make a character on roleplay, yes, you are not trying to chase clout. But you will join a server that has good, well-known role players on it, because then you know what kind of environment to expect. So although I'm not joining for subscriber clout or follower clout, I'm following the RP clout because I want good stories. I want James Randall to kidnap my cop and make him wear a tutu and make him lick dog poop or whatever. I want James Randall to pick up my cop off of a ladder and throw him off. I think that shit is funny. I want to be there to be the improvisational yes man to the wacky shit that these other role players have. But I've been in servers where there aren't role players with clout, and their inexperience with acting, let alone sharing the stage, really makes it hard to play these games. I do not want a bunch of main characters. Now, you don't have a job, do you? No, you do. So you're the next one that got moved in. So we need one more at the granary and two more at the storehouse. Which is pretty much these last two. This home and then maybe a couple from here. And then all of these other people can be farmers. Does Pixel server still exist? Okay, so Pixel 4.0. Okay, so this is a great example. I'm so sorry for pausing chat. This is a great example of no Pixel succumbing to investors. No Pixel 3.0 was awesome. You had Chanel on there, Kiki Chanel. You had James Randall. You had Wrangler. You had Sam Bass. By the way, if you guys don't remember Sam Bass, he was the leader of my outlaw gang in Wild RP. And although he's not really active in the scene anymore, I did play with Saab a lot. So that's where a lot of my background credentials on when I join an RP server, they'll be able to see that I have experience to maturely roleplay with people who are bigger than me and not ask anything in return. Hello, the real Dark Abyss. My God, it's been so long. I enjoyed watching the Western roleplay as well. Was that Red Dead? Yeah, that was Red Dead Redemption 2. And I loved it, but it was so serious. So serious. It's not a goofy, wacky place to be, which is fine. I love the seriousness of it. But there were times that, I mean, especially when you're an outlaw preacher, that people were like, I want to roleplay with this guy. And then they realize it's going to be a 15, 20-minute scene. And they go, my gang needs me. We got to go do this. Or I'm dealing with this drama that's been going on for 3 weeks straight. Good drama. Good drama. There is good drama. Like 2 lieutenants in the Italian gang in Saint Denis fighting each other, right? Or Solomon's gang being riddled to nothing. Had a name change. I can't rock the TTV. Good idea. Little short secret for all of you out there. Table Knights and I, we're like this. And we used to stream together all the time. But the reason why I stopped is because a lot of the times in his accounts, like whether it's Rainbow Six or whatever, it's Table Knights TTV, which is great for getting viewers and subscribers to your channel. But when you're playing a game like Rainbow Six Siege or DayZ and stuff like that, you want to avoid those people because people will screen snipe. So that's good. Okay, so no, not like that. Here, you know what? Let's bring up a clip. It's a really good clip. Think of it more like, how do I explain it? I was basically Friar Tuck, and Sam Bass was basically Robin Hood. We had the belief that the frontier should have been the frontier. And the reason why the story was structured that way is because if you play Red Dead Redemption 2, you know, you're right at the end of the era of the cowboy, right? And when you get to the end of the era, I said pause. When you get to the end of the area, what the fuck? Jesus Christ. When you get to the end of the era of the cowboy, civilization is creeping in. So there was another part of the frontier that I don't think gets explored enough in Red Dead Redemption 2 that we still see in areas like Texas today, where it's like, you come and take my land and I'll kill you. You know, the robber barons were coming in and stealing people's land, and they were the ones that went out and harvested it. So in a way, the reason why I really enjoy that is because I think, let's do Red Dead. We really enjoyed it because it was me being kind of like Friar Tuck, but I was fighting against people in Washington telling people in the frontier how to live. So I didn't kill people. I didn't hurt people. I blackmailed. You know, I'm an outlaw, right? I stole money from the wealthy robber barons and the rich people moving out west and spread it out amongst the poor. But I wasn't like a murderer or anything like that. And I think that's a fine line. Here we go. I think this is it. Okay, I'm going to show you guys a couple videos. One of them's really short. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. So the other thing that I did was, as Gabriel, is I ran... No, that's not it. I had one that's... Where's my highlights? This is just clips. Is it... Oh my God. Where do you look up your freaking highlights? Do I have to go to my channel and do it that way? Hang on. Hello, Sir King Big Hoss. I burped when I said your name, Sir King Big Hoss. I think I'm just going to go look for the highlights in here. We'll have to dig through a couple of them, but recent highlights and uploads. Well, they're not recent. Here we go. It's this one. Okay, so this is just an example of what Gabriel was like. So the story here is that Max, this is Max Brady, was a security guard. He entered Saab's group shortly before I did. Now, Sam Bass, started to get into things like buying casinos and stuff, and that's where I drifted apart. As a preacher, I had a problem with that because casinos thrive off of people's addiction to gambling, addiction to alcohol. So that's where I kind of left the group. I'm still part of it, per se, but I'm not writing with them. I'm not actively involved. I'd go visit with them. I'd have drinks and maintain friendships. But I started like an outlaw rehabilitation program. When it became clear to me that there was no way of avoiding the civilization of what was going on, I basically was like, we need a place for outlaws to rehabilitate and come back into culture. And we rehabilitated Max, and we're trying to get him hired as a sheriff. The problem is, though, Max killed a lady as part of Sam Bass's gang. So he's dealing with some inner demons. This is what I loved about, Wild RP, but I also hated about it. When I tell you that, like, it's all serious, it's nice to have these serious moments, but god damn, this one, whew, yeah, it was rough. All right, we're going to stay on 1080.
No need to apologize. This'll do. Well, Max, my son, what troubles you? Oh, no need for that. Please stand.
Sure.
Part of the confessional process is that we are equal men. Your past will be set aside. My role as preacher is set aside. We are two men in the eyes of the Lord, talking as equals with him.
Okay. Forgive me, Father. Roy descend. I want to apologize for all the wrongs I've did in my life and my past, and for all the people I hurt, mentally and physically. Folks I've robbed, folks I've killed.
By the way, the music is added to me live, not in post.
Taking it a step further and
I have a bunch of
stabbing them
playlists
to
of
make sure they're
emotions.
dead. To stabbing Deputy Thorne multiple times and leaving her for dead. For everything in my life that went to shit. That's the life I wanted, and it ain't. And I apologize for them sins I committed. And
Oh yeah, it makes it way more emotional. That's a very good point. There's not as many bright colors. There's no parody like brands or anything like that. The one thing I will say about this scene in particular is Max was basically saying he killed so many people that there's no way he could turn back. And I'm going to teach him. He asked me he asked me before the scene, how did I get so lost when what I really wanted to be was a cop? And that's kind of what this confessional is based off of.
So with this, pray to become a new man, turn that new leaf, and start showing folks I'm serious. Let them know that I'm leaving this part of myself in the past. And this is the perfect way to do it. I apologize to Lord for that. Sorry for these sins.
Max, I find it honorable that you take responsibility for the deeds that you have done. But you can't possibly blame yourself entirely. When you first joined up with the group, you, like I, were blinded by a wolf in sheep's clothing with the promise of revolution and fair trade and peace for the crossing. Can I demonstrate something for you?
Of course.
Stand next to me. In front of us is the pool that is our destiny. And we want to get the other side. The path has some current, and it might be dangerous. But what if I told you that that pool was evil deeds? What if I told you that on the other side of the pool is salvation? Have you ever wondered how you came to do the things that you did?
Myself and the folks I surround with.
Now, if I told you that if I were to plunge you into that pool, you'd be burned alive in the pits of hell for all of an eternity, what would you say to me about that pool?
Fuck that. I ain't going in there.
Right? Now, let's say we have a friend who kills a fellow's horse in Valentine, and we decide to cover for him. I mean, that's not really that much of a sin, am I right?
Oh no, this is just us watching a highlight.
It's true,
Because I was
but it's
talking
easy for
about
us
how
to
I'm going to
justify
join
in the
a
time that we're
GTA
just trying to
server.
cover a brother. So let's take one step forward. Oh, there's that scary pool of evil. I would never picture myself doing that evil. I'm a good man, and, well, there was that time I got mad, and we captured El Coyote. We didn't hurt him, though. We just wanted to teach him a lesson, right? Let's take a step forward. Of course, then there was that one time that Barry was exiled from the group, but we still had to make excuses for Buzz killing people's cats and bringing them sadness and grief as a prank to play on the sheriffs. We just said, "Oh, Buzz, that coot," smiled and pat his head and let him do his thing. Take a step forward. Oh, and then there was that one time that We'd all gotten kind of in trouble because we beat up that guy who beat up a friend of ours. Eye for an eye. Take a step forward. You know, maybe what we'll do is we'll rob a bank. We won't hurt anybody. We'll just take a hostage. Take a step forward. You and I, we love each other. We're brothers. We'll do anything for each other, even if it means covering for misdeeds. And just so you know, I killed a man yesterday, and I want you to cover for me in light of the law. Would you do that? Well, we did, so take a step forward. Do you understand, Max? You see, you blame yourself and you wonder, how did I get in that situation where I did all that evil? I hardly even recognize myself. How was I put into that situation? Well, it's baby steps, Max. Baby step, baby step, baby step. You can always justify a small baby step for the sake of a friend, for the sake of a family who loves you that you never had. For that brief moment, there's joy. Rejoicing in brotherhood. Rejoicing in the deeds we've done. Sam needs me to ferry guns. Well, I know the guns are going to be used to hurt people, but we need the money. Sam needs me to send a telegram to warn the criminals that the law is coming. Criminals who 3 weeks later kill a woman and her husband for the sake of their cart. Well, I happen to know some friends who have done some evil things. Heard they killed a few folk. But they are my friends. Maybe I can talk some sense into them. I don't think I'll turn them into the law. Oh, water's getting slippery here, but we need the money. Maybe just one more bank. And look, Max. Now you asked to kill your first person for Sam Bass. And if you say no, I'm just going to look at you and say, well, why not? Look at the distance you've traveled for me already. What's another step? You see, Max, for most people, it isn't until here that you've realized you've gone too far. It isn't until here that you realize that the evils that you've done are destroying your soul. Come and join me. Max, you were a murderer. You were a thief. You were what, honestly, you hated. It disgusted you on the inside, and I think you just did it because it was one baby step at a time. Well, let's change that. You and I have both done some pretty terrible things. There's only one thing we gotta do. That right there is the bank to salvation. Take my hand, Max. Trust me. I will help you out of this pool. All will be forgiven. You just need to trust me. And know that I will not lead you astray like others have in the past. Trudge through your evil deeds and take my hand. Come on now, you're too late for that, Max. You can't go back to the way things were. You're already in the thick of it. Now come, take my hand. Max, the story is never about the things that you did. Truth be told, the story is about how you got there. I'm not saying you are blameless. Surely, you are to blame. For you're in control of your own thoughts, but the demon tempts everybody. Satan tempts everybody. The serpent in the Garden of Eden tempted Eve to betray the word of God. And Eve, knowing she did wrong, had Adam take the bite of the fruit. You have to understand, Max, you are going to put all the blame on yourself. You're going to shoulder all that blame because that's the type of man you are, but you need to realize you didn't get into that pond because you're some dark, evil person that deserves death. You got into that pond because you got lost. Sam got lost. They're all lost. And it spreads like a cancer. When one sheep strays away from the flock, the others follow suit, thinking that's the thing they should do. And then they get torn up by the wolves. Well, I'm your shepherd, Max. And I'm here to tell you that you are not a lousy person. You are not an evil person. You did nothing that was inhuman. The first man, the first woman committed the same sins. They were forgiven. The tax collector robbed from the poor and Jesus forgave him. Now, if this were the Old Testament, I'd beat the holy shit out of you right now and crucify you. For that's the punishment you would deserve. But Jesus taught us another way, Max. Jesus taught us love, sympathy, compassion, and most of all, forgiveness. Even Jesus feared when he was nailed to the cross that fateful day. He looked up to the sky and shouted, "God, why have you forsaken me?" Yet no response came down. This, a man who knew he was the Messiah. This, a man who knew it was his destiny. This, a man who did not fight the Romans in his last moment, questioned whether or not he should be there. Because he was human. And that's the beautiful thing about it, Max. You're not some evil, corrupt person that deserves death. You're human. What you deserve is love, forgiveness, and freedom. I absolve you of your sins, Max. But this is just the first step. Let's wash those sins away forever.
So yeah. That's why I want to get back into it. I love that shit. And even the guy who was playing Max said he wasn't saying much because he started to cry. And if you can make somebody cry, that's huge. It's huge in roleplay. So, very good, but very exhausting when you have serious roleplay like that. You end up running out of ideas, you end up hitting creative walls, and it ends up affecting you on a personal level because it's just so high energy all the time. So playing on a GTA server that still offers me that window to be that serious, like if I'm an FTO, I'm going to have some real talks with people. But also allows me to be a complete lunatic and allow my cadets to put Mentos in my Diet Coke, or, you know, I can see them role-playing that they're putting Icy Hot in my jockstrap. So maybe I should create a scene where I go to the gym to do PT with everybody, and I put my jockstrap on, and I'm just sitting there the entire time going, "Oh, keep it up, keep squat. Oh, my Lord." You know, I just think that humor, which is in Red Dead, but not as prevalent, is a nice cushion between moments like what you saw. Because the problem with Red Dead Online is that was the role play 24/7. There was not a break from it. It was emotionally exhausting to do that level of role play every day with everybody you encounter. That's an amazing picture. But yeah, it actually convinced Max to give up crime and pursue becoming sheriff. The tragedy was that our former clan or gang found out that that's what Max was doing and chopped his foot off so that he couldn't become a cop. So the story didn't end well, but Max was still at peace. Even though he couldn't become a cop anymore, he was still glad that he redeemed himself. I want to play a game where I can have this irrational, like, nemesis relationship with a crim, but then also offer to buy him some waffles when I'm not on duty. And GTA roleplay gives you that polarization. Whereas with Red Dead roleplay, it was like, no, like, now he's going to capture you and kill you. And that's it. Of course, they couldn't just outright kill you. You had to ask permission. Hey, you know, this is tense. Would you be open for a perma? it was a little more political in nature than just like, oh, I just watched my character, my favorite role player just got murdered and now I hate that streamer. It's like, no, we agree behind scenes. It's all about storytelling. When somebody permas, it's the person who dies who decides to perma. Why are you doing shows and more VA jobs? Well, I was a stage actor, and I've had my taste on how fickle that industry can be. And the one thing that people don't realize is for every role that you see a voice actor get, right? They've also applied for 100 roles before that they did not get. Not everybody is a Troy Baker. Not everybody is a Matt Mercer. And then a good example is the guy who voiced Asterion. Top-notch voice actor. But voice actors go through this thing where they have work for a solid year because of a video game or a project, and then they don't have work for 2 years. It's very feast and famine. And when you have a family, despite how good you are at something or how passionate you are at somebody, when you have a family, you have to decide, is your family worth putting through that feast or famine? And in my case, it's not. Which is why I kind of want to go into like GTA RP. Because if I can, like I said, $4,000 a month would be all my family and I need. That's not, I'm not asking for a huge fucking audience. But if I could do that, it would be like I'm returning to be a professional stage actor again. This waiting for people is the worst part of Manor Lords. I'm still waiting for... Oh! No. Finish the fucking manor! Everything is on hold until you finish the manor. Just finish the manor! The problem is logs? Do I not have enough freaking oxen? There's 5 free oxen in this goddamn town. Dude, I'm crashing out. These people. These people need to get with the program. Money. Not very much money, though. But positive, right? We still have coins. That's a good sign. Sorry, my lord, I didn't know how to build a manor. I only made huts. 3 huts put... Honestly, that's kind of how I feel about the level 1 manor. It's like, I am an earl, and this is where I live. I live in a peasant home. Like, when you upgrade your town to tier 3, they have better houses than your fucking manor. So we have to upgrade this thing to stone at some point, or make ourselves a castle. And I'm leaning towards the castle idea, because I have big dreams for that. But in order to do that, our chat, who's playing as my political council, is going to... has agreed and given me, the Earl, or the Count, permission to invade and claim this territory. On one condition. We can't be broke. We have negative 509 gold at the moment. We're getting taxed 300 a year. I need this built so I can continue to tax my people. Until it's built, nobody's getting taxed right now. Because I took off taxes to please the people. And this was probably the most foolish mistake I made. If I could go back in time to yesterday, I'd kick myself in the nuts pre-stream and be like, don't. But, you know, I can't do that. But once we build this manor, we're going to be able to have more knights. That's going to be huge. Ah, the manor is finally finished in Dreamington. All right, taxes, let's ramp this up. And honestly, I think our circular design worked really well. This actually looks incredible. I wasn't sure how it would appear. But this actually looks really nice. The square ones are easier to build, and I got bored building those. But that is a proper Motte and Bailey. Well, not the most proper Motte. Otherwise, this would be higher. Okay, so here's the thing. Jazz and I have talked years about him doing, like, Red Dead roleplay with me. But the limitation was time and the computer. Because he works very odd hours. I will say, from my own perspective, that now that he is a supercomputer, basically, if the chance was that I could get my foot in the door on a 5M server and Jazz wanted to do like weekend roleplay with me, I would 100% rope him in. But I also thought about Mountain Blade Bannerlords. If we joined the persistent Bannerlords servers and one of the clans, we could effectively roleplay there. Now, I know not everybody roleplays on it. The roleplay is really kind of give or take on Mountain Blade Bannerlords. But I like to roleplay in DayZ when nobody's roleplaying. I still think it's a fun experience. So that could be something that we could do too. But it's... Man, Jazz and I, if we were to play on a... Jazz, first of all, would probably be my getaway driver, my baby driver. Because he's very familiar with GTA. He could probably outrun the cops. The question is, would Jazz and I be like... I could see us being brothers living out. Hello, I think the game is... I think you'd like the game, This War of Mine. I do like This War of Mine. While he has a decoy in the manor? Absolutely. Absolutely. But, I could see Jazz and I being like two brothers living out near Sandy Shores in a trailer with the fucking rusty-ass pickup truck. We could probably get a lot of really funny RP out of that. We're not deciding to be crim or a law-abiding citizen. Just that in itself and just watching it. Although if we did, if we did become crims, I would really want to see Jazz roleplay Dev Mastigar, who's a charismatic leader of a gang of outlaws, but is also a fucking coward. Trevor's long-lost son, yeah. Well, it's that or Polito, and nobody lives in Polito. Polito's terrible. In every roleplay server, Polito is bad. Some more than others. Some you even mentioned. Now, we don't have to worry about this. These raiders are going to come after these guys. These guys are going to raise their army and spend a bunch of fucking gold and take on these raiders. But they aren't going to want to waste their gold. So the moment that they defeat this band of raiders, they're going to try to take shock spits, which means we get to enjoy a battle. And I'm super freaking excited. Okay, so taxes are going down. Or our debt is. Well, we're going to be in debt for a while, though. I don't want to, you know, get it twisted. I've never had the game crash before. And there's no autosaves. The good news is We didn't actually play that long. We had it paused while we talked about Red Dead. We also played it at 1 speed because we were just chatting. Now I can 3 speed it and just super focus on everything. So, here we go. Let's kick it up to 3 speed. We need this at the highest build priority. There we are. Then we're going to build another lumber yard here, but we're going to make it a very high priority, or a high priority rather. Then we're going to come over here. We're going to zoom in. And we're going to build another forestry hut because we found out that there were 2 unemployed people over there right here. And this is going to be a very high priority. This is so that we could recover these areas. Fuel is bad, but we now know that in like 6 months, we're going to have plenty of wood. So that's not a concern. This area has now been populated. We need to take this guy and put him on this other malt house. That means both malt houses will be in production soon. The rest of these guys are going to go over here into the other malt house. We've decided to upgrade all of these buildings to honey. So this needs to be honey as well, but we need money for that. And we're about to run into some money. Okay. The other thing we've decided to build is we wanted to build a farm right here. Okay. There is something else, by the way. Something we should consider since I'm working on this population boom. Wait a minute. Oh no, did I just... Is this place fucked on water? Am I remembering that right? Yes, it fucking is. It's totally fucked on water. Shit. Okay. That being the case, we need to upgrade our infrastructure. It's not so much... It's just to make sure everybody has water. I cannot afford people to be pissed off because they don't have water. There's a well. There it is. Ah, that's already a stone well. Okay. Every stream's going Groundhog Day, even though it's Chap's a streamer and you want to do this 8 hours a day? Yeah. Hell yeah, my dude. Come on. Isn't it funny? It's funny, right? It's funny. Y'all know it's funny. Don't act like it isn't. Playing a 3-speed, we're going to get back to where we were in no time. Although now we don't know where the raiders are coming. They may not strike at Wildfeld. They might strike at me. I hope they don't. I like crushing the AI's armies better than the bandits. I want them to attack one of the AIs, so the AI attacks me. That's more fun. We had talked about buying another oxen. Let's do that while we have the cash. And the money's gone. I was just saying, let's make this an apiary, but the money's gone. Cool. It's May now. This is the last day for the fish, or last month for fishing. We're at the 9 silver we were at before when we talked about our firewood needs. Oh. We wanted to change your area of operations to be here. And we wanted to change your area of operations to be here. And then this third one is going to be here. Good. It's already working. We have trees. We just need them to continue doing their job. This group's doing well too. Okay. It's going to be a year or 2 before we start seeing trees. And then this right here is also doing well. We're going to have more apples this year. The pears are still coming in, so they're probably only going to produce a little bit of fruit. They are blooming, so that's a good sign. Okay, so we have somebody working on that. And we have somebody working on the tannery. We need one more working in the malt house. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Shit. This is not good. Wait. Okay, let's build ourselves. We didn't build a hitching post, though. And I need this to be the highest priority. Get on it now, folks. Let's get some builders over here. That oxen's gonna run away. Oh, no, there we go. Stable space. Okay, so because I put it down, it's counting it. All it needs is a guide right now. Good. Also, do we have water over here? No. Wow, this place. All the water is on this side. Which is not surprising because that is the highest point. So all of the underground water would be down here and running off. So that's actually kind of realistic, even though I don't think that's how the game works. I just ended up with a really realistic layout. Yeah, see. All the water starts up here and kind of trickles its way down. It looks like there's some underground water by the lake. This is all coming from the highlands, running to the water. Doom scroll! Yeah, we've almost got this built now, so we're almost back to where we were. Then we'll save the game. Once it's built, we save. We need to put some farms out here. Running down. I think this is gonna work. So we're still waiting on about... I mean, I can see the circle of oxen working now. All of these oxen are for the farms. I think we have a healthy number of oxen. This is perfect. Oh, yes. We're getting people moved in now. You can work at the other malt house. You could work at the granary. You could work there. Oh, you know what else I have to do? I have to tell this thing that I don't want it to keep honey, and I don't... Yeah. I just don't want it to have honey. It can have everything else. And over here, we gotta tell this one. There it is. No honey. In fact, I could also... That's smart. Since the tavern isn't even over here, let's also say no drinks. Right? And no animal feed. They don't need it. I'm saying no drinks because I want the drinks close enough to the tavern. I don't mind if it's here at the barn. Or in the farm. Okay, we're getting there. Yeah, I know. The town is struggling, but soon they won't. You know what? Let's, do you have a job? You're a forester. They all have jobs. That's right. That's where I'm stuck. Work the granary. That's 5. So we need 3 more. And this is about where we ended, because this is going to be built. Okay, that didn't take us long to recover. Maybe added 10 minutes to the playtime, but we're doing it. Oh my god, and once this thing is built, you're going to see all the other buildings just pop up like crazy. It's interesting that they're choosing to come and grab... Oh, you know what? There's probably not a whole lot of logs over here anymore. Yeah, there's not. Okay, that makes sense. We got some trees starting to sprout. Or turn into trees instead of saplings. No, not the reset time loop. I just need this to build, and then we're saving the game. Now I don't trust the game, since it crashed. And auto-saving in this game, it breaks it sometimes. By the way, we don't save scum in this game. If a plan fails, we get torched, and basically have to start over. That is the punishment. It's like watching paint dry, damn. Okay, nobody's moved in yet. Harvest season has started, so they're gonna scramble out there. Ah, there we are. I don't think there's a quick save button. I have to go to the menu. I can't be that discreet. We're starting to get firewood. Yay! Enough for everybody. Pantry's full. Oh, of apples? Yes, of apples. That's a lot of fucking apples. Maybe the next peasants to move in will max out our granary. Because then they'll come by this a lot more. I don't even see... Oh, there are carts going up there. Okay, so there's a few carts headed there. Alright, good. And this place has probably got full stock, too. Oh, no, good. Alright, now they're doing their job. Come on, people. Damn, bro. I thought that said crops rotted. It said crops rotated. Jesus. There we go. Here they come. We only have 12 more houses to move in. We had like 42 at the beginning of last stream. So population is growing. Which is very good. How many rough stones do we have, out of curiosity? Oh, we haven't started that yet. I understand. Let's cut down on that. That's why we need 150 silver. We'll cut down on the purchase of rough stone. That's probably what's breaking the bank. Oh my god, it's time. Tax the fuck out of people. What else can I get away with for -8? Oh my god. Okay. So it looks like 10 is the maximum I can do it. Alright, that's fine. The amount of people we have moving in, it'll be okay. Oh, yes, we need to save the game. Now that the freaking manor's been completed. We have a second family who moved in. And they're going to become our last storehouse operator. And the rest of these... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... Yeah, we've got plenty. They're going to be farmers. How much bread do we have? So we do have bread. Although I'm wondering if it lasts that long. Anyway. They're building all sorts of shit out here. Now, we did just receive word that our other Forester hut has been completed. Interesting. So they did attack in a different area. All right. They are now in Ferdau. Right there. Which means they're coming straight for us. So, we now need all of our troops to rally up. You know, I just realized the damn music's been muted. I was like, why does it feel so off? But that's okay, because now we're gonna queue up some boss fights. Here we go. Army! We need to rally here. On the double. Wait. No. We don't need to. Disband, disband, disband. Go back to work. Why are they in the church? Maybe I need to... I think they're stuck in the church. Let's have them rally here. Because they're stuck in there. And then we're gonna tell them to move. Then they move. Then we're gonna tell them to come over here. Then we disband them again and see if they'll stay here at the manor. If they start going to the church, we're in trouble. Nope, it looks like they're coming home. Jazz. There you are, Jazz. We're going to keep the dramatic music on because I know that this is only a precursor. Where was the last place they were spotted? So, where are they now? I've lost track of them. Oh, fuck. Where are they? Oh, there they are. Oh, so they're in a battle. Completely obscured from my vision. I do like the fact that I have to go find them if they're in trees. I actually don't know how this will play out. I'm pretty sure the mercenary spearmen are much better armored. But there are 4 groups of... Oh, there's 2 mercenaries. Yeah, the mercenaries got this. Okay. Now it's our turn. Do it. I dare you. I want to fight this shit. Where's the battlefield? Here again? Do they tire of this? Are they enjoying this? They might actually just enjoy the pain. I'm not doing the bridge tactic. Bridge tactic equals boring. We've done the bridge tactic. It works every time. We don't lose a single soldier. I want to flex my strategic muscles a little more. Where? Oh my god, they're headed for the north area. Okay. With our forces being drawn, they might not light fire to my village. Okay, there's so many more troops. So there's archers. So they've learned since the last time we fought. Maybe it's good that we're not at the bridge. All right. Pretty simple deal here. This is the highest ground. But their archers will get a cover bonus. So, we're going to come over here, which is also sloped pretty generously. Do you guys know what a false gap is? Let's do a false gap.
Yes, sire.
Alexander the Great did that.
My lord. Yes, sire.
So, our false gap needs to be 2 lines of spearmen. Then we need, actually, because of the terrain, I'd rather have you over here. 2 rows of, and then we're going to grab these spearmen. I don't exactly have enough troops to make this work. And we need you to stand right here. We're going to put a column of men here. And a column of men over here for this false gap. Crossbowmen, I need you to stand here. Because if they think they can get to you guys easier, they're going to do it. The false gap serves a couple purposes for us. Offensive archers, please. Offensive archers, I need you shooting more. Defensive, shield wall. Defensive, shield wall. Both of you on push forward and both of you with run. Now, a retinue. I need them in the middle. Okay. Let's see if this works. In order for this to work, I need to maintain my formation. I don't know how the AI will respond, but mentally, if you see all these spearmen, and you know they have archers behind them, right? And in the middle, you see swordsmen in a formation that it looks like that center point is vulnerable. It is natural when you're on ground level as a soldier to identify that and be like, ah, but what it really is, so we got the archers there, it's not just 3 dudes. But now we've already committed. We're too close. Instead, it's a column. And a word for Alexander the Great. Very well. But the visual perspective that you are charging towards the weaker middle and then realizing it's just an open kill box. Just tell your men the enemy is cooties. Guys, gentlemen, the enemy is cooties. Here they come. Let's go into cinematic mode. I didn't realize when you're this close to the ground, it makes that much noise. Damn. Nobody's sneaking up on me, are they? Okay. Now we wait to see movement in the trees. I can't truly appreciate this spectacle because it's not in 70mm IMAX. No! Can I sit out this battle? I'll need to take a shit. Well, unfortunately on the battlefield, you just shit your pants. Yeah. They just shit themselves. They would wash afterwards. Oh, here they come. They're exhausted because they just went up a hill. See how they keep trying to run? I think they're gonna fall for it. I think they're gonna fall for the false gap. We've been flanked! It was a ruse! I fell for it! No! Maintain the gap! Where the hell did they come from? I was wondering, I was like, are they really falling for it? They were walking slow to buy this squad more time? That's actually insane. We didn't suffer too many losses, though. We lost 3 guys. Oh, shit. No. You were fine where you were. Our scouts see him coming across the bridge. Here they come. This time, it should work. However... Oh my lord. New plan. Get in there. Oh my god, we're being flanked!
Orders! Push forward, men! Advance! Kill them!
Charge. I knew that was going to happen. They can't outrun me forever. There they come. Get ready, spearmen. Don't worry about the flank. Now, swarm, swarm, swarm. Now we're positioned on both sides. That's going to win us that fight. Same thing with this. There you go. You're an idiot. You are an idiot, sir. Wow, I've lost a couple people over here. Get back to defending.
Advance!
So, the gap appeared to have worked, but only because they outwitted me. Got a historic properties job? Yeah. And now we're gonna have a bunch of sad people with crying weepy eyeball faces because they lost somebody or some bullshit. Wow, did nobody care? Is no one sad about this? Wait, did we not lose anyone? No, we did. We totally did. Why isn't... Oh, there it is. There's one.
Where? I can't work. My husband or son died. Boo-hoo.
That's really why I'm disappointed in my people. All right. In the meantime, though, we did get 2 new families. So, what do we have them do? I know what to do. I know what to do. Something we've been forgetting this whole fucking time, and now is the perfect time to do it. We have a pretty high altitude. But if we built a road going from up here all the way down, following the tree line, all right? And then we have 3 livestock farms. Good. And now we may have access to water supply. Yeah, there we go. We're not fighting for our lives anymore. Not that there was any danger to us or our kin, because frankly, we're amazing. We made a couple bad calls. I had to write a few letters to families going, oopsie. Sorry. I heard you lost somebody important. I just want to tell you that while I sympathize with your loss, production must come next. And your loved one, son, husband, whoever they were, knew that when they signed up for the job. So, put on a happy face, wipe away those tears, wash the blood off your clothes, bury them already, and let's get to work. Cause it's time to fuck some sheep, my dudes. Hopefully, being this close to the water's edge means I won't suffer the same altitude problems that I would, say, up here on the hill. Probably. I would imagine it's all digital. You know what? Let's do 20. Let's do 20. They really only need 20 of everything. Maybe then they'll spend less time restocking and more time actually building. Okay. So here we are. We got our livestock farms being built. We're starting to get positive regional wealth. So now we can expand some of our animal stock. Start getting cows and sheep. The wool's gonna make clothing, because we're gonna need a lot of clothing. A lot. Oh, that was one thing we were working on, is the wells. Yeah, they're all stone wells now. That's good. I forgot about that. It's like we're... Oh, there's the crying eyeball, people. Wah, my husband died. Shut up. Remarry. It's gonna happen again. I'm not doing the bridge tactic anymore. I will not be pressured. Wait. Said a family moved in. Ooh. That is a new family. And they're not employed. This is fantastic. So, this is going to sound wild, but I'm actually going to need you to work in the Reaper's shop. We need as many of that stuff as we can. Jesus. You guys can wait. Huzzah, indeed. Nobody's going over there to build. Like, what the heck? I like how we left the well at the church wooden. I forgot to make you into an apiary. Well, let's make these piggies. Low maintenance animals.
We all know what that means.
Okay, finally, we're starting to drop off some supplies. It looks like we got builders in the area. Good. Good. The first livestock farm of Dreamington has been completed. Ah, yes. Soon we will have wool, beef, milk, and most of all, mutton for our holiday dinners. I cannot wait to feast upon a variety of meats at the banquet. More pork, please. Yes. Where the fuck are these oxen? I mean, they're getting there. Maybe another smart thing would be to connect these roads. I could see the peasants doing that. Let's see if they take it. He ignored it. He also... Wait, are you guys just delivering... Where are you guys going? Oh, maybe it's because they have to pick up the log and then they start pathing. So it might be that these are the next oxen we'll see taking the new route. I'm curious to see if this helps them. And the oxen are going around the corner. Taking a wide turn. Go down the path. Go down the path. Yes! Otherwise, I just delete that road. Oh yeah, look. Even the people are... Wait, isn't that one of my soldiers? Kuntz, what are you doing? Alright, we've got a pasture completed. And more families moving in. This is beautiful. Okay. So you will have piggies. But also, you're unassigned. Will now work at this livestock farm. And I would like 100 animal feed at all times. It appears we're going to need more oats before this plan can come to reality. Well, this guy's not doing anything. I need a farmer. There you go. It's time to start filling the farms, folks. Biggie. Let's get some more pork on the menu. Piggy. All right. You two, you do not have a job. You are now working at the farm. Congratulations. I know I'm in debt to the king, okay? But we're going to do this together, all of us. We'll make this work. We just need a stable foundation for us to succeed. Okay. I think this one's priority will be threshing. Now that I'm considering my options, but we'll figure it out because we got to get more farms planted. That is for sure. We could lay out the groundworks for it. So we already have a road on this side. We could connect this road here. To this road down here. And then we could have a road going up the back of the pastures here. And then curve this road to line up with the side of this barn. Then we're gonna do a field. Wait a minute, why is the wheat fertility so bad here? Oh, it's fine. Huh. So we know we need oat, and we know we need rye. So this one, we're gonna make rye, crop rotation, oats, and then fallow. We're gonna build another farm. or another field here. And this is going to be oats, fallow, rye. Then I'm going to build another field over here. Which will be fallow, rye, oats. Start with this. Everybody's going to have a hand in farming. There's going to be 3 farmhouses. I know we're waiting on more families, but we'll get there. We have a second family who moved in. You are also going to be a farmer. I think the answer is just speaking. But we have this area almost fleshed out. Then we're going to start expanding on our logging industry, as well as all of these people are going to be craftsmen, and we're going to see much of the place go to rank 2 the next time we play. Hopefully we'll be able to get enough taxes to get out of debt to the king so that we can claim this as per chat's request. Save the game. I like this angle. Really pretty shot. Quit the game. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're here from YouTube, consider hitting the subscriber notification bell. Or if you'd like to just kind of drop in on me when I'm live Wednesday and Thursday afternoons and Saturday and Sunday evenings. Until next time, YouTube, thank you so much, and we'll catch you later. For the rest of us, let's find someone to raid. Let's get them channel points. I am going to keep you guys updated, by the way, on the Fallout 4 situation. I am very excited for this update. I just got to wait for the encoders to update, or the script extenders.